Amstrad is Alan Sugar's company. He dreamt it up, gave it his initials, built it into a multi-million-pound business. He's always boasted he could pick winners, like his investment in football club Tottenham Hotspur, which last weekend went through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. But Amstrad has lost its momentum. In 1992, when it announced its first loss, Alan Sugar tried to buy the company back from the shareholders. The city, no longer in love with Mr. Sugar's autocratic style, insisted he bring in a chief executive to improve corporate governance. But Mr. Sugar didn't give up. Steve Annett has followed him as he launches Amstrad's comeback.
In the good times, the City of London went to Alan Sugar. Analysts and financial journalists would make a pilgrimage to his Essex headquarters to learn of Amstrad's financial triumphs. Now, after the company has languished in the red for 3 years, the man once hailed as the prophet of consumer electronics must go to the city to announce the company's latest downbeat financial results. The outlook for Amstrad may be uncertain, but Alan Michael Sugar is still a proud man.
There's a brand name that we have here, and that brand name is known throughout the whole of England and throughout the whole of Europe. And the first 3 letters of that brand name is my name. And it would be it would be a shame to see it go down the pan, and it won't do that as long as I've got something to do with it.
To business journalists, Amstrad was once hot copy. Blockbuster products generated blockbuster profits. But after losing over £100 million, the company is barely back into the black. Amstrad just isn't exciting anymore. It seems to have lost its way.
Is that if there's not any business around to be done, then we won't do it. We won't chase it. And as you can see, you've got a balance sheet of now 180 million of net asset value, of which 136 million is cash. Hardly a vulnerable company, as you can see, but one could also say all dressed up and nowhere to go, and not really what shareholders in public companies want.
And certainly not what the analysts want. Their relationship with Alan Sugar has never been comfortable. In the past, the city's been concerned that he's too much of a one-man band. But those arriving today are greeted by the new man, brought in to turn Amstrad around. The man in question is Chief Executive David Rogers, who joined 6 months ago.
In the 6 months to December 1990.
The beard may be familiar, but that's where the resemblance ends. Formerly a senior executive with electronics giant Philips, Mr. Rogers is restructuring Amstrad.
Well, how far have we got? Well, quite a long way, frankly, in a short time, but of course, never far enough.
I'm certainly very comfortable in talking about the business to the analysts and to the city. So, I mean, if that helps to improve that relationship, then I'll be very pleased.
Do you think the city finds a person like you perhaps easier to handle than a rather more unpredictable character like Alan Sugar?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they do, but on the other hand, conversely, now I suspect that the press find me pretty boring. So probably yes, and the press probably say, "Oh, what are you on?"
Hello, Jenny. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm very well.
Mr. Rogers' performance for the analysts has already paid dividends. By the time he arrives for a television interview just down the road, Amstrad's share price is on the up. It appears Mr. Rogers is the reason.
This year. The analyst said because of your coming on board, the whole presentation to the city was a sort of a different tone. Welcome to the Bloomberg Forum. I'm Julie Filsner. My guest today is David Rogers.
Mr. Rogers doesn't just talk the city's language, he speaks it in an acceptable accent. He's clearly out to win over the financial community. Unlike his chairman, he's watching his P's and Q's. The possibility that he might have given the wrong impression about Amstrad's profits outlook causes palpitations for the company's PR man.
We've realised that
nobody's really that bothered about what the exact number ends up with at the end of June.
Which
what
we're
does it
not.
look like further down the road?
That's what we're suggesting that we will.
Going to stay in place?
But Amstrad's headquarters in Brentwood, Alan Sugar is still referred to as the boss. But now he's sharing power with his new chief executive. David Rogers sees himself as the man brought in to save Amstrad.
Good morning, Mr. Rogers.
He's already pushed through a major reorganisation aimed at spreading the responsibility for making money down through a newly created chain of management.
Were you concerned, though, that Alan Sugar might be reticent to surrender, if you like, some of the levers and controls to somebody else, having spent so many years very much in the driving seat?
Yes, but I think in some ways I don't want him to. Whatever he did on a Friday night or a Sunday night, whenever he had these brainstorms and walked in here and said, "Hey boys, this is what we're going to do," and that's what's got us to 600 million, then, please, Mr. Chairman, carry on doing that, and, I'll try and maintain that the disciplines and the processes and the infrastructure to take that through.
This is one of David Rogers' latest innovations, a group management meeting.
And dealing with trading standards inquiries where...
In 15 years, this is the first time Amstrad has hosted such an event. They'd be commonplace in most conventional companies, but Alan Sugar isn't conventional, and formal meetings aren't his style. Worthy topics like corporate governance leave him cold.
I'll start with the first one, which is corporate and company secretarial. Our role on the corporate matters side is firstly to try to ensure that...
Alan Sugar has never really fitted the city's image of a company chairman. But even if it goes against the grain, he's making efforts to fulfil outside expectations of how a company should be governed. His real enthusiasm reserved for products, it's in terms of an Amstrad computer that he views the issue.
...can arise if you haven't looked at your contracts properly.
Someone said when we brought out our first IBM PC, it's no good, it hasn't got a fan in it. Now, the particular fan meant nothing in this particular PC because there was nothing in it that got hot. But my famous statement said, well, if they want a fan, we'll give them a bloody fan. And that's what we did. We stuck a fan in it, and to this day that fan does nothing, but we stuck it in there because it's what they wanted. And if that's what the financial community want, if they want a boardroom full of non-executive directors and a chief executive and a structure and compliance to certain things, then I'm quite happy to go along with it. Now, of course, for me, the nature that I am, I have to hold back and restrain myself on occasions and watch these things go along and give people these opportunities of doing what they've got to do.
If I've spent one day at home, I'll just get all the messages on my screen.
But Alan Sugar's self-restraint is often sorely tested. Today, managers have been asked for bright ideas to streamline management communication. In the face of the chairman's scorn, Amstrad's Dutch sales director argues for extensive use of the electronic mail system.
I mean, it's very simple. Electronic messaging is not something new, it didn't came out of the blue.
Anyway, on Friday night, a very important engineering matter was completed and emailed through the sophistication of the electronic systems that we have here, because that project was, is going to put bread and butter in the mouths of every person sitting around this room here, urgently out to Japan, who are going to work through the night, Sunday night, Monday night and Saturday night, and only to find out that it's still sitting on the system here on Monday morning, hasn't even gone. And the poor old caster Madam Butterfly's been waiting over there doing nothing for 3 days. That's for your email. That was your wrong keystroke, my friend. And that wasn't an idiot, a poor idiot like me who doesn't know how to use it. This is a highly technical engineer.
It's not really a fair argument. And for me, it's not valid. To the point that if you instruct your people properly, and they know how to work with it, they will act accordingly. And
I'll email your salary. Would you like me to do that? How would you like me to do that?
By the time the meeting reaches the weighty subject of business organisation, Amstrad's restless chairman is off. He says there's a bloke he's got to meet.
That's what I thought.
The Amstrad 8256 is a complete word processor.
Back in the 1980s, when a stream of innovative Amstrad products were taking the market by storm, thoughts of corporate structures couldn't have been further from the minds of the company's employees. Their biggest problem was producing enough products to meet booming demand. Alan Sugar was the uncrowned king of consumer electronics.
The Amstrad 8256, more than a word processor, for less than most typewriters.
He got in very early onto the markets, I mean, that was his skill. He recognised a need, a niche. He saw the prices were far too high. He introduced popular prices, high specification, good products, and he captured a large market share.
But today the Amstrad brand can't be found on the sales floor of Dixon's or any other British store. Late last year, Alan Sugar took the controversial and risky decision to turn his back on the powerful retailers. Now he sells consumer products direct to the public only. Sugar says he was driven out of the high street by a growing band of cut-price competitors and a squeeze on his profit margins by the retailers.
I've never ever had an experience such as with Amstrad where our business has deteriorated from, say, 75 million retail 5 years ago to nil today. I mean, this is the best example of commercial suicide I've ever experienced.
How long do you want to carry on selling goods for zero margin? I mean, you know, all the people in this building want to get paid. So how can you continue to sell stuff for zero margin? What has happened in the computer industry is that there is really no room for a middleman dealer, retailer.
Well, this is just absolutely not true. He's the only supplier who's ever taken what I think is a suicidal course and decided not to go through the retailer. The retailer covers the country, gives excellent service. No one's ever gone direct before and made any money.
The high street is where the people walk. Whether they're going to actually spend their money there is another story.
If you walk into the high street store, you'll see all the major...
If you walk into the high street stores, or better still, if you read the national newspapers, normally on about Thursday or Friday, certain leading retailers will be advertising high screen, honky tonk, this one, that one, Matsuyu, hoopy hoopy, and all that.
The PC you're about to use is just one of
But there's one name in computers that Alan Sugar is banking on.
Welcome to Vigeland. Good afternoon, how may I help you?
Vigeland is a successful computer manufacturing business which Amstrad acquired 2 years ago. £60 million bought not only a profitable company but also years of experience in marketing to the public. Vigeland was a British pioneer in the direct selling of personal computer systems.
The motherboard at the 75 megahertz fit into the tower case because there might be a slightly different size up and down.
You'll see on the back the connector to which sits in the docking station.
Due to the nature of the multimedia machines,
most of the computers sold here are customised for the client.
specially configured.
Is it covered? Is it clear? Is there anything obstructing that at all?
Every machine comes with a lifelong after-sales service.
The only system we'd have with 5 free drive bays would be an EISA.
It's what's known at Vigeland as cuddling the customer.
If you can pull it out and reinsert it.
Right, have you got any files that we can share? I'd just like to see some figures or charts.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is bring up a spreadsheet which illustrates our quarterly projections.
Diran Kazanjan is one of Vigeland's founders. Selling PCs direct to the end user has made him a millionaire.
We know the machines, we build them here, we design them here, and we're all experts at knowing the machine. And the customers we also know. When they ring up, we find out what they want, and we customise the machines for them and basically look after them after they bought the machine.
Vigeland's approach has proved so successful that it's now in the midst of a major expansion. It's invested £2 million in this new factory to meet growing demand from its mainly corporate clientele.
This is excellent. It's going to looks already like it's 3 times, 4 times our current capacity.
Now Alan Sugar is trying to replicate the Vigeland formula in the consumer market.
Isn't it commercial suicide to take Amstrad out of the high street?
We're already selling more computers per month than we were when we're selling them indirectly. We're selling more fax machines per month than when we're selling them indirectly. So, I don't know, maybe I'm missing the point somewhere. What's happening today with this advert that's run today?
The telephone sales room of Amstrad Direct, the operation now at the heart of the company's consumer electronics division.
Very well, we sold a lot of multimedia packs. The customers are very impressed.
Multimedia ones is the most impressive. So it's standing up like that, multimedia sales.
After only 3 months, it's too early to judge whether Alan Sugar's gamble on direct selling will pay off or not.
Pass the details on to HFC Finance. VAT delivery, it's £246.74.
So how are you?
But Amstrad now has another iron in the commercial fire, which management believe is a hot prospect.
Thank you, bye-bye.
7 a.m. at Stansted Airport. The high-flying chairman and his team are off to the north of Denmark. They're to visit Dankor, a company manufacturing mobile telephones. Sugar had ambitions to get into the cellular phone market when Dankor came up for sale. He snapped up the business for £6 million.
Cellular telephones is not something which you can just suddenly click your fingers tomorrow and say, oh, I want to make them. Along came somebody and happened to say to us, you know, that there is this company in Denmark that is available that's got all the skills that you are now thinking of trying to build up from scratch. Why don't you go and have a look? I think that was about a Monday afternoon. I think Wednesday it was on the plane, and I think Friday we bought the company. Now, that's the Amstrad in us. I mean, that wouldn't happen anywhere else in the world.
As he tours Dankor, Alan Sugar is determined to keep across the detailed economics of the business. Faced with a sophisticated new manufacturing machine, what Sugar wants to know is how much the basic components cost.
£8 per board. £2 per board. £8 for this one. Yeah. Big on there.
To the Danish employees here, Alan Sugar is a prince. He rescued the company just as it was going bust. Now he's relaunching it on a raft of high hopes.
I see no reason why Dankor can't become the fourth, big player in the market. Motorola obviously is a big player, Nokia and Ericsson. I see no reason, and it's certainly our goal, certainly the goal of the management in Denmark, and my personal goal, to become a very, very big player quantity-wise.
We could be in the order in the first full year of production, once we have passed the ramp-up stage, to a turnover in the order of £200 million.
In a very profitable business.
I'm not going to give quantities on that, of course, and I'm not going to tell you what the margins will be, but yes, it is profitable, of course.
Do you believe that mobile phones could perhaps do for Amstrad in the 90s what the word processor did for them in the 80s?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
So these phones are the new Amstrad blockbuster?
I think so, yes.
But Dankor still has a long way to go. Although its order books are healthy, its capabilities in mass production are unproven. Management admit there have been hiccups during the ramp-up stage. And in the past, Alan Sugar has misread the marketplace. But one thing he's convinced gives Dankor a fighting chance of success is its technology.
Good.
I'll start with that.
Well, go on then, get the prof in.
You did upstairs. Do you want to go upstairs and see him?
Go on then.
You're coming as well?
I'm coming. Yeah. Come on then, let's go. Professor.
Dankor works closely with the nearby Aalborg University, which has a large department specialising in radio communications.
I think
For Sugar, a visit by one of its professors is a chance to indulge his interest in potential products of the future.
This particular project, Locale, that we're working on here is speech coding, yeah? Speech recognition, which can be used not just in the piece of hardware, but down through into the network also.
Yeah. And it's interactive in a way that the system assist the user.
The infrastructure
send my bill to Mr. Watkins or something like that. Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Very good.
So we're coming up to upstairs.
Back in Essex, preparations are underway to unveil Amstrad's complete new range of products.
From the aisle.
There's an upcoming trade fair at Hanover in Germany, and Amstrad are hoping to make a big splash.
It's all right so far. I'm just a bit surprised to hear there's a new PC being launched. I didn't know about that. So that'll have to be written up.
Amstrad's new management team plan to use the Sabet exhibition as a world stage.
And what's the closing date for the scripts for Bob, Paul and myself?
End of next week.
Sabet is the first big public test of the newly restructured company and its products. Hanover. It's the opening day of the Sabet Fair. Amstrad is going head-to-head against some world-class competition. Preparing to take the wraps off is an anxious business.
You should have it. You should have Paul. You should have that here.
No, I understand.
So it's really, you know, high drama.
Well, we distract people, though.
Yeah, we want it to distract people. That's the whole thing, you know.
But shield the chairman.
No, it wants to be really prominent, yeah, with a wrap on it.
We could just bring it
No,
forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it should be out here. There's no question about it.
Or in front of here. Yeah.
Right here, or here. Against this back.
Good point. That's it, you got it. That's the question. Right here, right in front of the lectern.
As the start of the conference draws nearer, a mischievous Alan Sugar has wagered £50 with his PR man that fewer than 20 journalists will turn up.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
The fifth product then.
By the time things are underway, the chairman is out of pocket.
One multimedia PC.
And I'll turn the contrast up.
We believe that these devices are really going to be the kinds of devices that are best fitting into the home environment.
Never one to miss an opportunity, behind the scenes Alan Sugar is doing what he loves, wheeling and dealing. Component suppliers are amongst those granted an audience.
Have a word with David Rogers. He's next door.
Yeah, sure.
Good morning. Hello, morning. How are you? How many of these things can you make per month?
50.
Well, I'm inclined
for the other two.
I'm inclined to say that we need now. We need 20,000 a month. We need in August and September 20,000 out the factory.
It's possible.
Each line can do 25,000 a month. We've got 2 lines set up. We can go to 3, so it's all possible.
So that's a major change from where I saw you on Monday. Okay, I think I can shift that volume. I mean, I haven't even spoken to him about this. He doesn't know where I'm coming from, but it really involves a lot of TV advertising, national press advertising, and
It'll be some time before it's clear whether Amstrad's efforts at Sabit have paid off. In the more relaxed atmosphere of an Essex hotel, Alan Sugar is hosting a dinner for his new management team. Despite all the upheavals of recent months, he's still undisputed head of the table at Amstrad.
I know the vineyard very well.
You do, yeah. I bet you know.
Third vine on the left. That one came from. Make sure Mr. Rogers pays for it. I have made a lot of money in my career. Frankly speaking, I've got more money than perhaps one could even spend, in one's life. The easiest thing in the world for me to do is to, close the book, thanks a lot, walk out the door, and leave it to everybody else. Very, very easy. It's very nice on the south of France, on the beach, and sitting on the yacht and all that. But
so what's keeping you here in the rain?
Because it's a good business, and it is the business that I founded, and it's and it's my way of saying when it's not right for me to walk away and leave this business at the moment.
The new Amstrad for the 90s is only just setting out its stall. The glory days are no more than a memory. But one thing hasn't changed. Alan Sugar's appetite for the sweet taste of success is as keen as ever.